Eleonora, sediti qua. Ok? Buonasera a tutti. Good evening, everyone. Grazie per essere venuti. Thank you so much for coming tonight to our presentation of Don't Worry, we made it. So I'm using a microphone because, as you can hear, by reading all those books to the kids earlier, I lost a bit of my voice, but I hope you can hear me all right. So before me and Carla start talking about the book, I wanted to say a little thank you, and I know Carla also wanted to say a little thank you. So I'll start first. And so I wanted to thank everyone for coming today for this wonderful book launch party. And it's a great day to celebrate children's literature, but it is also a chance to celebrate community, family, and friendship. È un'occasione per celebrare la comunità, la famiglia, e l'amicizia. When you look at this book, you see two names. You see two names on the cover, and the author and the illustrator, but what you don't see are the many names that help these names on the cover make the book possible. And like every book, this book is a journey, and it has its own story, and we will talk about this story in a little bit. But I think it's important to tell you a little bit about how this bookstore works so you can understand how this book was made possible. So here at I Am Books, we are a family, a community of individuals who love books and reading. There are two things we like to do more than anything else when we're here. First is drink coffee, preferably with cookies and croissants. There's always an excuse to bring something. C'è sempre una scusa per portare un dolcetto. And the second thing we love to do in this bookstore is talk about ideas. An idea is a powerful thing. It can go in any direction. It can grow. It can become anything you want. I remember when this bookstore was just an idea. That was 8 years ago. And back then I went to someone named Jim Penzino, and he believed in that idea, and here we are. So anyways, we drink a lot of coffee and we talk a lot about ideas. We also, and especially, work a lot for the bookstore. So when we have time, we drink coffee and we talk about ideas. But many ideas come and go, and maybe they are sidelined. Sometimes an idea is not a good idea, and we might throw it away. And sometimes an idea is good, but it needs more time. And sometimes an idea is so good, it grows and it keeps growing, but you have to take care of it. And the way you take care of this idea is you talk about it. You talk and you talk and you talk about it. And so, and that's how this idea, the idea of this book, was born several months ago. It was a lot of talking. It was a lot of talking among us. And when I say us, I'm not talking about only me and Carla. I mean the whole of I Am Books. We all went through, so many drafts, so many plot twists, so many character changes. The story has changed so many times, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But I think it's very important to keep in mind that, again, this is a book that is born thanks to this bookstore and what we do in this bookstore and the people who are in this bookstore. So let me, I've read this a few times so that I don't try to cry too much, but so first of all, let me thank, so first of all, let me thank those who have worked here and have made this bookstore possible. There are so many to name. There are some here today: Jason, Schultz is here. Thank you, Jason. And and many others who made iBooks possible in the past. Thank you to our extraordinary, tireless, and passionate book-selling dream team. That's their words, dream team. Jack Roderick, Gina Ledonne, Alice Ascoli, and Michela Bergamo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to our archivist in chief, our North End stalwart, she who knows every nook and cranny of this neighborhood. And you say, what does this building mean? She knows it, Jessica Del Russo. Thank you to our creative master, she who puts up with all my absurd requests to make changes, and then she makes masterworks out of these changes, Francesca Pontiroli. Thank you to our warrior, the one I can truly rely on to see if an idea is good or is to be trashed with just looking at her. But really, the one who makes sure every wheel is well oiled and turning properly and making sure this bookstore works. Adele Profeta. And last but not least, our captain. She who steers the ship through the calm seas and tumultuous thunderstorms, our beacon of light, our beacon of kindness, Elenine Sacre. All right. Okay, I made it through without crying. So we would also like to thank our families for their support, their love, and their patience. And we'd like to thank all of you who have supported our Kickstarter, all of you who have just found out about the book and are bringing it home tonight. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I need the word.
But anyway, like you basically said most of the things I wanted to say. So I just add one more thing, and it's I'm gonna cry though.
All right.
So I want to thank you, Nicola, because for that day you asked me. Sorry, guys, to be a part of this team, this family. I should say this family, because this changed completely my life here in Boston. You know, I mean, like as an expat, you feel like you're always trying to find your place in the world, and of course, your place in the world is not a physical place; it's just the people you find in that place. And again, it's all about the community. This is all this book is about. And that day, I felt immediately felt like that was my place with my people. And thank you also for being the visionary you are. You have a vision. You see something. You see like magical projects and talents where like every other people will see just nothing. Like and this is the reason why this book is here today. Because as you said, it's some ideas just grow and then become like this is iBooks is the place where I would say to Francesca, iBooks is the place where dreams come true. So if you dream big enough, you can probably realize the dream. So thank you so much, Nicola. Thank you.
So if you have a dream, come here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's think. But so thank you, Carla. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think you are here not to see us cry, but to hear also about a book.
It's all done.
It's all out there. It's all out there. So
Thank you.
So we want to talk about this book. How did this book start and how it came to reality? Come è stato possibile creare questo libro? Come è stato possibile idearlo e poi pubblicare? So let's go back to those conversations. So several months ago, it was the spring, and all of a sudden, we had already been talking, oh, we should do a book someday. And we had so many ideas, and we still have many ideas for other books, but one that stuck was this idea of we want a book that's first of all based in the North End. Like
Ma si
we
può
knew that
registrare, Mario?
and
No.
for us, the most important thing is try to figure out a way to put in this book what Carla just described about this bookstore. So this feeling of community, this feeling of how we are all tied together and how we can make things happen when we collaborate and work together and we have sort of the same dream. And then how did it go? We threw out a lot of ideas, and I think my first draft was completely different from what turned out to be.
So there were like different characters. There were a lot of like many more characters than there are actually in the book.
Right.
And some of them were not as important as they eventually like are now are in the book.
Right, and yeah, and especially the main character. So the two main characters were not the main characters when we started writing the book. These two characters sort of came, and this is again when I'm telling you about an idea. This idea might change, and it might change in so many different ways. But if you like it, if it's an idea that you really believe in, keep working on that idea. And so, as Carla was saying, we actually had two main protagonists first, and were two children. And the story got so confusing and so complicated that we said, no, we can't have two. We need one. And so Carla, I had written down the characters in the book. I had written about who they were and what passions they had, and this was to give Carla a sense of who they were, so that she could translate these characters into the illustrations that she so beautifully made. And what character did you?
Yeah, with the first sketches, the turtle Connie Concetta was Zia Maria's pet, actually. But we loved her like since the beginning, since the first day. We thought, oh my gosh, this is so cute. We have to find her like a special place in the book. So let's make it Nina's pet, like kind of like friend, like spirit animal. She can follow her through this whole book, through this whole journey, and she's silent because you will see it. She's a completely silent character. And even Nina doesn't exactly interact with her. She's always there. She's like this presence follows her like everywhere. But you don't even know her name like from the book. Like you don't read the name in the text. But it's just, I don't know, it kind of like became some way one probably of the most important presence in the book.
Yeah, Carla's absolutely right. So when we saw Connie, she overtook all of us. Like we fell in love with her. She was just sitting there. Carla had made this sketch of Zia Maria, who's in the book, and Zia Maria, I had written, had a pet turtle, and his pet turtle was this simpaticissimo. It was just too adorable. And so I said that Carla, we have to make her the main protagonist. But Carla did something fantastic with Connie, and we decided that she wouldn't speak, she wouldn't have this interaction, although she's extremely important for Nina. Do you have pets? Yes. And so if you have a pet at home, or you have a favorite stuffed animal, or a favorite toy, or something that you're really attached to, that pet or that toy or stuffed animal, that holds a very strong meaning for you. But you don't maybe think about it all day, you don't talk to it all day, or you don't play with it all day, but it's there and you know it's there. And in a way, that's sort of the relationship that developed between Nina and Connie.
You can also kind of see very much, I mean, Nina's emotion through Connie, like in a funny way sometimes, because she always was kind of like funny, but yeah, it's another way like to see how this journey goes for Nina emotion.
And then this is where Carla's genius comes in. So I'll show you. So I wrote the story, right? And so the story, she obviously followed the story, but when you find an illustrator who really takes the story and doesn't only, represent it, but takes it to another level, that is when you have, in our opinion, an amazing book. And this is, so for example, the cover. Let's start with the cover. I did not give any kind of indication to Carla as far as the cover goes. And she came up with an amazing cover that, first of all, expresses the sort of, first of all, you can tell Nina is a fearless girl. She can do anything. She knows what to do. And Connie, her turtle, is right in front of her. She will follow her. She will go wherever she goes. But then the buildings and the color choice, all of this, I didn't say a word. When she presented to me, there was no need to change it. So maybe, Carla, you can tell us a little bit about like the work that went into, the choice of colors, the choice of certain buildings that are real buildings of the North End.
Yeah, we kind of wanted, so we wanted it to be a timeless story. So there are buildings in the book that you can see are real buildings, like Iron Books, for example. It's a place that you can see, I mean, nowadays. Yeah. There are also some people who are real people, because like Bob, our mailman, who is a real like person. I mean, like who we see every day. Or Maria and his dad, who are very affectionate customer who always come to our bookstore. So some part of the books are real, other parts were real, I would say. I mean, like for this spread, for this two illustration, I took inspiration by a beautiful, wonderful book by Anthony Riccio about the North End, from the North End to from Italy to the North End, with beautiful illustrations about from the North End in the 70s, 80s, and so this person, I mean, a real person, but they're probably not among us anymore. But it's so it's kind of there is All Saints Way, which is yeah.
Some of you might recognize this way.
Yeah. We wanted them to be like places. We wanted people to recognize the North End from this book, but at the same time, not just the most like touristic places. And also we wanted to make kind of something in between the past and the present. So that's also the reason why I choose this color palette, because I wanted to give some, like the idea of some, like vintage illustration, but at the same time, bright colors, something more kind of like modern, contemporary. I wanted it to really like give the perception that is something suspended, like in between the past and the present, the real and the unreal. The buildings I choose for the cover, for example, are all most of them are real buildings. We have the Skinny House. We have the All Street Medical Mission, with I think there are apartments today. And we also have this building is inspired by the building where the a new spin laundry is. next to Pocari's. And this other building is also inspired by the restaurant, that is immediately like next to that laundry. So yeah, again, it wanted to be kind of like a timeless thing. Yeah, with real people and just people made up by yeah our pathway. Yeah.
And one more thing before I forget, that is basically also important in this book, is we decided that there's multi-generations, there are many generations in this book. There are nonni, so nonno and nonna. There are zia, and which is aunt. There are mamma and papa, and there are Nina. There is Nina and Connie. And in our idea, it was sort of, since it was set in the North End, for us it was also important to try to find a way to convey this message of how does a family that is Italian, Italian American, American Italian, what is the type of interactions that go on between the various generations? Because you might have the nonni who came from Italy, but then their children, who are Mama and Papa in this book, maybe they were born and grew up here. And now maybe Nina is the third generation, but she's still called Mama and Papa. She still says zia, nonno, and ciao, and grazie, and maybe they speak more English than Italian, or maybe it's always a mix, or maybe who knows. But we for us, it was important to sort of play and try to find a key to explain, as Carla mentioned earlier, how it feels also to be an expat. How does it feel to be an Italian whose children are born here and become Italian American as well. There are many things that go along with identity.
And I say like another thing that there was also this idea. There's also this idea of like there's Nina walking through the neighborhood by herself with a turtle, which I mean nowadays for me as a parent, like in a big city like Boston, it seemed like something really unrealistic. But I have to say that being like Italian and being like coming from a small like town, I saw a lot of my childhood, like the summer spent at my grandma's house when she was like cooking all the time, and she will ask me to go out for groceries, and I would go like with my cousins, like by myself, and just get whatever she needed. So I don't know. I also saw a lot of my childhood in that.
Well, kids, do you want to read a little of the book? Can you all join me in thanking Carla for making this amazing book? Because again, my idea and my words are fine, but if you don't have someone who can make these kinds of illustrations, has the imagination, the creativity, the drive and the passion and the vision, you don't get a book like this. So this book is possible, especially thanks to Patty. Thank you, Patty. All right, let's read half of the book, okay? Because then you're gonna have to read the second half at home. Is that okay? We'll keep us to the suspense. It's an exciting day at Nina's house. Today is Mama's birthday. Papa and Nina are baking a cake. Very well, let's start baking, says Papa. You see Concetta, you see Connie the turtle. Where is she? What is she doing? Yeah, I think she is hungry. So very well, let's start baking. Oh, where are the ingredients for the cake? Is there anything there?
No. Only a bag.
Oh, that's so disappointing. Don't worry, Papa, says Nina. We can ask Zia Maria for the ingredients. That is an excellent idea, says Papa. I'll call her and let her know you are on your way. Is Connie going along with her? What is Connie doing? Yeah, she's nibbling at the apron. She's hungry. We walk inside a macellaio, a butcher shop. There were many here before. There's one left. He knows this person. He has Connie with her. Oh, look at that, all the ice cream. Spumoni e gelati. There used to be a thing called spumoni. You'll have to ask your parents what that was. Ciao, Zia Maria. Ciao, Nina. Zia, do you have the ingredients for a cake? It's Mama's birthday today. Nina, cara, I only have flour, but don't worry. Go to Nonna Giovanna's house. She will have what you need. I'll let her know you are on your way. Grazie, Zia. All right, let's see. We're gonna follow Connie Concetta and see what she's up to because she's always up to something.
The turtle's eating flower.
She is eating those flowers, but the rabbit was taking so much care. The rabbit was taking so much care of these flowers. Oh, Connie. Turtles love flowers, by the way. It's a real thing. Did you know that if turtles see something green, they will try to bite at it? Anything. So if you're wearing green pants or green shoes or green socks and there's a turtle, watch out. They'll try to eat it. And so here they go. They're walking and they have their flower in their hand. They meet Bob the mailman. Bob says hi. Do you recognize this place? Does it look like this place? This one thing I want to do is tell you. You see this up here? So this is part of the building. It's an ironwork. It's a very elaborate ironwork. But one thing my mom always told me to do when I was little, when I was your age, was when you walk, make sure you know where you're walking, first of all, so you don't want to trip or fall in a hole. But every now and then, make sure you look up. Look up at the buildings, look up at the details, because there are things that are amazing. If you walk out here and you start looking up, there are numbers, names, years, decorations, statues that you will never ever see if you don't look up. So that's my one suggestion to you, look up. Ciao, Nonna Giovanna. Ciao, Nina. No, it's Mama's birthday and we want to take the cake. But we only have flowers. Nina, amore, I gave you eggs and sugar, but that cat drank up all the milk. But don't worry. I am sure Nonno Carlo has some. I will call him and let him know you're on your way. Grazie, Nonna. Do you see the cat that she's talking about? Where's that? What's Nonna Giovanna's cat? Yeah, what's he doing? Yeah, the cat's sleeping because he drank way too much milk. And the turtle is taking advantage, checking out the bowl. Maybe there's some milk left. And I'll leave it over here. And they're making their way to Nonno Carlo's house. And then you'll have to find out for yourself. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. We are going to have a cake. We are going to have music at 6:30. And again, thank you, Carla. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And we'll be around if you want, to talk to us, ask us questions, have a book sign. Carla actually even makes a little sketch of Connie. So, thank you. Thank you again. Grazie mille.